Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Roman Reigns has not appeared on WWE television since the April 21st episode of Raw. According to a new report, fans will not have to wait much longer to see the Tribal Chief back in action. Joey Votes and TC discussed Reigns' status on the latest episode of WrestleVotes Radio on Sportskeeda WrestleBinge. Joey Votes reported that the former undisputed WWE Champion's return is near, with new marketing and merchandise being prepared. Sources indicate that WWE's higher-ups considered putting Reigns back on television in time for Night of Champions on June 28. However, it was decided that he would return prior to SummerSlam on August 2 to 3 instead. Joey Votes added that Reigns is set to be a main part of SummerSlam. Alternative nicknames are also being discussed for the 40-year-old, who returned in 2024 as the OTC after a 4-month absence. Roman Reigns' latest WWE storyline. On April 19, Seth Rollins defeated CM Punk and Roman Reigns in the main event on the first night of WrestleMania 41. The story largely revolved around Punk's longtime friend and Reigns' special counsel, Paul Heyman, who surprisingly aligned with Rollins. 2 nights later, Heyman declared Rollins the new top star in WWE before Reigns made his way down to the ring. The head of the table briefly brawled with his former Shield stablemate before being attacked by Braun Breaker. Since then, Bronson Reed has joined forces with Breaker, Heyman, and Rollins to form a dominant faction on Raw. Rollins also captured the men's Money in the Bank briefcase, meaning he can challenge for a world title at a time of his choosing. Although it has not been confirmed, Reigns is expected to feud with Heyman and Rollins' new group upon his return. Cherry Emoji 1. The long hiatus in WWE's strategic build. Hourglass Emoji 2. The rivalry, Rollins, Heyman, and the Bloodline shakeup. Bullseye Emoji 3. Timing the return, Night of Champions vs SummerSlam. Performing Arts Emoji 4. New nickname brewing, reinvention of Tribal Chief. Movie Camera Emoji 5. Hollywood and Health, juggling Tinseltown and the Ring. Fire Emoji 6. Storyline speculations, who stands with him? A. Alliance with babyface powerhouses. B. LA Knight, a ruthless tag team? C. Bloodline Civil War Redux. Microphone Emoji 7. Why It Matters, WWE, Legacy, and Merchandise. Calendar Emoji 8. Timeline Recap. Date, Event, August 20,252,026 to 2027. Thought Bubble Emoji 9. What to expect, a return that rocks. Here's how WWE might craft the Roman Reigns resurgence. Surprise return or callback heat. Vignettes hint at his return. Flashy collectibles, thematic promos. Finally re-enters on SmackDown or Raw in early August. New persona and nickname. Introduces upgraded nickname, possibly adding King, Legend, or Alpha to Tribal Chief lineage. Visual updates, Rift in costume, new entrance, music riff. Immediate target. Confronts Rollins, Heyman, and their faction in his first segment. Lays groundwork for SummerSlam main event. Forming teams. Reunites with Usos, Rhodes, maybe even Knight, face coalition. Builds against Rollins and crew over weeks. Big event match. SummerSlam climax, could be singles, tag, or faction warfare. Stable reformation or reversal dependent on outcomes. Hollywood pursuit. Straight after SummerSlam, takes time off for film. Returns occasionally in 2026 to support projects while staying semi-active in WWE. Push pin Emoji 10. Final take. Roman Reigns' SummerSlam 2025 return is shaping up to be one of the WWE's biggest hits of the year. With internal buzz, new gear, and a fresh nickname in the works, WWE is staging a big comeback arc. His balance of Hollywood with WWE, especially the Street Fighter role, adds real-world stakes to his return. Not only is this a storyline reset, it slightly guarantees he won't be seen weekly ever again. And as he moves beyond physical wrestling, every appearance gains emotional weight. TL, DR. Reigns returns at SummerSlam 2025 after a strategic hiatus. WWE is prepping a new nickname to evolve Tribal Chief/OTC into a fresh icon identity. Expect major clashes with Rollins, Heyman, and their faction, potential alliances with LA Knight, Rhodes, the Usos. His return is a blend of narrative storytelling and real-world scheduling, tying WWE and movie ambitions together. Roman's return will define WWE's second-half storytelling. SummerSlam is poised to bring back the head of the table in a match the WWE fanbase has waited months to see, and all eyes will be on that new moniker, entrance, and next chapter. Roman Reigns to reform the Shield with WWE megastar, new Bloodline member to debut? 5 last-minute predictions for Night of Champions 2025. WWE Night of Champions is approaching, and the excitement among fans is off the charts. The premium live event is shaping up to be a blockbuster, with some of the biggest stars in the industry set to compete for highly coveted titles. While the match card itself is quite intriguing, fans are also expecting some surprises that could end up making headlines. Let's take a look at a few last-minute predictions for Night of Champions 2025. 5. Bianca Belair could return to cost Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill has looked unstoppable on SmackDown lately and is set to face Asuka in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament this weekend at Night of Champions. While Cargill might deliver an incredible performance, Bianca Belair could make her presence felt. The EST has been out of action with a finger injury for the past couple of months and could return to ruin the night for the former A-star by stealing all the spotlight. This might be the perfect way for Belair to turn heel and start a feud with the Storm on SmackDown. 4. Hikuleo could make his WWE debut to help Solo Sikoa dethrone Jacob Fatu. Solo Sikoa is set to challenge Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship at WWE Night of Champions, seeking to avenge the betrayal at Money in the Bank. While Sikoa has JC Mateo on his side, a couple of cheap shots could cause the referee to send Mateo back to the ringside, which might be a setback for Sikoa. However, this is when Hikuleo finally could make his debut on WWE TV and take down Fatu to help Sikoa dethrone the champion and become the new United States champion. Hikuleo signed with WWE in July last year and made his debut in a dark match before the June 13, 2025, episode of SmackDown. 3. Randy Orton could turn heel after losing the King of the Ring tournament. Randy Orton is set for a massive clash against Cody Rhodes in the King of the Ring finals at Night of Champions. The Viper hasn't had many chances over the past few months and might end up losing the tournament as well. This could turn into a nightmare for the star, and the frustration might finally cause Orton to turn heel and attack Rhodes to send a message to the entire roster. 2. The Rock could cost CM Punk. The Rock and his partner John Cena haven't been seen together since they formed their alliance at Elimination Chamber. Cena is scheduled to defend his undisputed WWE Championship against CM Punk at the upcoming Premium Live event, and fans are very excited for the match. The final boss, with a long history with CM Punk, could come to help his partner and cost the best in the world his match at the Premium Live event. 1. Roman Reigns could return alongside LA Knight to stop Seth Rollins and co. The biggest shocker of the night could happen if Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed come out during the undisputed WWE Championship match, with Rollins trying to cash in his Money in the Bank contract right after CM Punk somehow manages to dethrone John Cena. Rollins' attempt at a cash-in could be thwarted by LA Knight, who has been a major obstacle in the faction's path to glory. Additionally, to even the odds and seek revenge for past actions, Roman Reigns might return alongside Knight to take down the Visionary and his allies, ruining their cash-in plans at Night of Champions and forming a new version of the Shield to take down his former Shield brother. Fans will have to wait and see what WWE has in store for the stars this weekend. Night of Champions 2025 is right around the corner, and with high-stakes matches and surprise comebacks rumored, fans are bracing for one of the most explosive WWE events of the year. While championship gold is on the line, the real buzz centers around one man, Roman Reigns. The Tribal Chief has been missing in action for months, and after Solo Sikoa assumed control of the Bloodline, chaos and betrayal have reigned supreme. Now, with cryptic promos and surprise posters hinting at his return, all eyes are on the Samoan powerhouse to reshape the WWE landscape once again. Here are 5 bold, last-minute predictions for Night of Champions 2025, including the shocking rumor that Roman Reigns might just reform the Shield. With a twist. 1. Roman Reigns returns and reforms the Shield, with a WWE megastar. For years, Fans have begged for a reunion of the legendary faction, The Shield. But with Seth Rollins battling injury and Jon Moxley now in his staple, a traditional reunion seemed impossible. Until now. Recent teasers show Roman standing in a smoky corridor, holding a familiar black tactical vest, with the words "Believe Again" flashing on screen. At first glance, it screamed nostalgia. But one detail stood out, a voice in the background. Some fans swear it's Cody Rhodes, while others are convinced it's Gunther. The bold prediction? Roman Reigns reforms a new version of the Shield with Cody Rhodes, the man he once denied at WrestleMania, now turned ally after both were betrayed by their respective families. Dressed in black gear, the two megastars unite not for justice, but vengeance. Whether their target is Solo Sikoa's corrupted bloodline or Damian Priest's Judgment Day remains unclear. But one thing's for certain, the arena will erupt if the two join forces in Shield-style chaos. 2. A new Bloodline member debuts, and targets Jey Uso. Solo Sikoa's reign over the Bloodline has been marked by violence and instability. After ousting Paul Heyman and turning his back on Jimmy Uso, his grip on the group is shaky. But a recent backstage leak hints at the arrival of a new Bloodline member, someone bigger, younger, and even more ruthless. The name whispered in the locker room is Zilla Fatu, the real-life son of the late Umaga. Trained in Booker T's promotion and recently signed to WWE Developmental, Zilla has been honing his craft and perfecting the Samoan spike finisher his father made famous. At Night of Champions, Zilla Fatu debuts by helping Solo retain his championship, then turns on him immediately, taking out Jey Uso in the process. With the crowd in stunned silence, a new chapter of the Bloodline begins. Younger, more vicious, and no longer under Roman's shadow, this new Bloodline could be the deadliest yet. 3. CM Punk costs Drew McIntyre the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk's feud with Drew McIntyre has escalated from verbal barbs to full-on war. While Punk still claims he's recovering from injury, insiders say he's been cleared for weeks, just waiting for the right moment to strike. With McIntyre set to face Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship, Punk's involvement could change everything. Imagine McIntyre inches away from victory when the lights flicker, the crowd roars, and Cult of Personality hits the speakers. Punk appears from the crowd, steel chair in hand, and bam, lays out McIntyre, allowing Priest to retain. Afterward, Punk grins into the camera, "Best in the world. Even when I don't wrestle." A match between the two is then booked for SummerSlam, with stakes higher than ever before, pride, revenge, and maybe a title shot on the line. 4. Liv Morgan's title reign ends in heartbreak. Liv Morgan has clawed her way to the top, defeating Rhea Ripley and fending off challengers like Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. But Night of Champions marks her toughest defense yet, against Becky Lynch. In a backstage interview earlier this week, Becky promised to bring the man back in full force, suggesting that her playful persona is gone, replaced by the ruthless fighter who once held both Raw and SmackDown women's titles. In a grueling match filled with near falls and brutal spots, Liv fights valiantly but ultimately falls to a top rope manhandle slam. Becky captures the title to a roaring crowd, but Liv is left broken in the ring, until Rhea Ripley shows up, not to fight, but to help Liv up. Could this be the beginning of a new alliance between former rivals? Or a trap set by the Eradicator? 5. Triple H announces a King and Queen of the Ring World Cup. Just when you think the surprises are over, Triple H walks to the ring midway through the show with a huge announcement. Starting next month, WWE will launch an International King and Queen of the Ring World Cup, spanning brands and borders. Each continent will have a qualifying tournament, with superstars from Japan, Mexico, Canada, the UK, and beyond. The winners will compete at a special crown jewel-style PPV to determine the true royalty of wrestling. Stars like Ilya Dragunov, Braun Breaker, Jade Cargill, and Io Sky are rumored to be early favorites. With global bragging rights on the line, this announcement could reshape WWE's international reach and set the stage for long-term storylines, including perhaps a new Shield vs. World Champions war. Final thoughts. Night of Champions 2025 is shaping up to be a career-defining show for many superstars. Whether Roman Reigns reclaims dominance, a new bloodline rises from the ashes, or CM Punk reawakens chaos, the WWE Universe is in for twists, betrayals, and unforgettable moments. And if that Shield-style entrance music hits and Roman Reigns walks down that ramp flanked by a black-clad Cody Rhodes, you won't want to blink. The Tribal Chief isn't just returning, he's rewriting the rules. Believe that.